And we should be live. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing absolutely splendid. Just going to quickly check the audios and then we're going to get straight into this because it's going to be a bit of a shortened live stream tonight. I'll explain why in a second. Happy days. I'm very much happy with that. So, tonight we're going to be doing all things Southeastern. So, obviously, before we go into the concept, we're going to be streaming to around about 9 o'clock tonight. So, we're going to probably fit in 2 runs, maybe 3 at a push. I was going to hopefully stream a bit longer, hence why I started at 6:30. But we recently had a hair-related massacre. This sort of situation. Basically, Shan's dyed her hair, which looks really nice. But it was, let's just say it was strong dye and it needed a bit of a clean up. Anyway, so tonight we're going to be doing all things Southeastern, which basically means we're going to be driving all across the Southeastern network. Well, that we've got in Trains in the World. We've obviously got Southeastern High Speed, which is the big one. We've also got the other one, what's it called? Medway Valley, of course, can't forget about that. Medway Valley line, which we're going to be giving a good go of. And then also, some of the Southeastern stock actually comes into the likes of BML. And also, there's some stuff on East Coast Way. So we're going to basically try and do some random runs wherever. So we're going to mainly do whatever wins now, which is looking like to be Medway. Probably going to do around about, probably going to do a full line run. Probably just a standard full line run. And yeah, should be a good bit of fun. So before we get into it, who we got in the chat? We've got Kelly, Rex, good evening. Callum, one of the wonderful YouTube members. Hope you're doing fantastic. Got some updates for the YouTube members tomorrow. Of course, if you are part of the membership program, there was 5 of them, 5 people in the members, but now 1 person that's left, unfortunately. Which is it's fine. You know, people have lives and want to keep funds for whatever else, and I fully appreciate that. So yeah, basically, there's a few enhancements I'm doing to the members program. But mainly, you get a Discord server where we have a little chat and I give you updates about what I'm planning to upload. And kind of, you can see my thought process as the weeks go on. And I've got some other ideas as well. But yeah, we've got Callum. We have got Ultimate Void, Gerald, East Lancs, AHB Trains, Steve Hornby. The Medway route is pretty good, especially with the remastered Chatham to Rainham part. Working GSM-R on the 375 adds more to the experience. I've not got my head around the reworked GSM-R yet. I've given it a go, but I tried giving it a go and it didn't quite work for me. I'm going to probably not do it tonight, mainly because I'm under a bit of a time constraint. Henry, how you doing? Alex, Train Spotting Mainline. Ringer, Matthew, got loads of people in tonight. Sky, AHB, Sam, Chonky, how you doing? Dex, Mr. Joe Bob, Taserface, how you all doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. Can't wait to properly drive the Medway when you get home tomorrow. So, with that said, 38 votes, and you've said Medway, so that is fine. What I am going to ask is we're next going to do, what should we do on Southeastern High Speed? Should we do a Dartford to Faversham? HS1 to Ashford, or should we do St Pancake to Faversham? So basically HS1 all the way to Ashford, so that's basically like a St Pancras to Ashford, Dartford to Faversham, which is the commuter bit. Yeah, that's your poll for the next one. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into the Medway Valley. Any suggestions for what we should do? I think we should just stick with standard, shouldn't we? That's the wrong one. Medway Valley is down here somewhere. Watch me accidentally have uninstalled it now. Oh, there it is. There it is. We'll do a dash free, because why not? Or we could even do a javelin. I mean, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? What should we drive? First one on my screen is, yeah. Also, I don't really like how YouTube's doing this thing where it's pinning the stuff at the bottom. Is it doing that for anyone else? Or was it just me? It's doing like a weird thing where it's pinning the pole to the bottom. St. Pancake, that's correct. St. Pancake. Let me put that on. Oh, St. Pancake, you having a stroke? No, and it's just a joke, St. Pancake. 395. Yeah, let's do a javelin. Along the Medway Valley, because there's a few of them. There's a Maidstone service that I know about. Maidstone West. We could start at Maidstone West and go to Gravesend. So let's do that, shall we? Let's do that. Can you do the javelin tour? Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, because there's a rail tour, isn't there? Oh, bleed search bar. Go away. Where's the tour then? Is it? I'll type in Tonbridge. You might like that. I know which one you're on about, but I can't seem to find it. Tonbridge. Where is it? Does anyone know when it is? St. Pancras to Redhill. There we go. Nice one. Got it. Thank you. Let's put that into... let's do that. Let's do that. Cool. You want to do the class 33? I'm driving only southeastern trains, so a class 33 wouldn't fall into that. We'll do this one. That's fine. We'll go Gravesend to Tonbridge. That's a nice service. That'll be a good bit of fun. Let's do that. Unlock the doors. What are we calling that? Maidstone West and Tonbridge. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's do day running. Cool. And here's the javelin. I have been on one of these in real life, coming soon to Tickenough trains. They are gorgeous to go on. They really are. I've also been through this station. Quite interesting. Carter, how you doing? Elijah Transport, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. What are your top 3 UK routes of all of Train Sim World? Birmingham Cruise up there. Birmingham Cross City as well. And I don't know what would be third. I'm not sure what would be third. To be fair, because there's a few good contenders. I'd have to think about it a bit more. Let's go. Nice. Right. I'm falling behind the chat a little bit here. So, Richie, do you think Dovetail should make every route like this based on how good this route is? Every route should be based on how Medway line runs and how the trains react. I think in terms of performance, yes. I feel like when you're trying to obviously have a stable game, you can. There's bugs and there's like performance issues across the game, and this is testament to the fact that you can have an incredibly detailed route with good performance. So maybe they can take some learning from this, and I think they have been learning from this, and maybe they can take this forward into the future routes. In terms of like level of like scenery detail, I mean, I think that's a bonus in my honest opinion, because yeah, detail is good. Of course, it helps if a route looks nice, but that doesn't actually affect the performance of the train. And in terms of like features, like the interactive ticket gates, the toilets, things like that, they're a bit more gimmicky in the sense that, not like a bad thing, but like because they're kind of like unique to the route, let's say, and I don't think they're needed in every single DLC. You know, the reason why they're included in this DLC as little features is because, well, third parties don't have time constraints, don't have budget constraints. Some of them do, some of them don't. You know, Firefly are modders who were doing stuff in their free time, and Ditto, they've done it again, stuff in their free time. So when you're actually running a business like Dovetail are, they have to draw the line somewhere, and their line will unfortunately be a little bit before the third parties, because the third parties have more capability. I mean, that works in any company where the main spearhead for example, in my work, if there's like a project that is due, you kind of push everything, you put all your eggs in one basket and you do that project, and it has to be done by a certain time. So, and in order to do that, sometimes you can't make it as good as you want it to be because there's just not enough time, not enough hours in the day. So unfortunately, I don't see that happening with Dovetail stuff, but I feel like they've definitely improved on where they were 5 years ago, for example. This route's so good I can't stop playing it, and it should be the norm moving forward. Again, Taserface, I'm going to agree with that. Like, some elements of this should be the norm, definitely performance-wise. But I do feel like a lot of this is, yes, it's setting a bar, but also at the same time, it's like you don't want to. If Dovetail spent all their time doing things for every single route like Firefly has, Dovetail would probably end up bankrupting themselves because they just don't have the time or the resource to do it. Evening, Richie. I'm currently chilling on the southern trains and I'm gonna have some sausage and chips. Nice. Should I get Medway Valley or Preston Crew? Oh, I don't know about Preston Crew because I haven't experienced it. In my honest opinion, I would probably go for the Medway Valley because it's more my style. I'm looking forward to Crew Preston, don't get me wrong. However, I'm finding I'm not overly that fussed by 80s stuff. Like Preston Carlisle, great route, looks stunning, it's a fantastic route, it really is, but it's just not my cup of tea 100% compared to some of the other routes about. I like stuff that's familiar, and I like stuff that's, well, start-stop commuter. That is just my thing. How you doing, Mr. Fishy? Hope you're doing well. You're a long-time viewer. You've been here for a very long time. Very long time. So Richie can only drive the Class 395, the 465, the 375-9-6 and -3. And I think that's it. Pretty much, yes. But that is still, I mean, considering we've got 2.5 hours at a push, I think that's more than enough stuff. You do like the extra features? Yeah, I like the extra features for sure. I think the extra features are nice, and it certainly makes it stand out. However, I feel like, let's be realistic. You gotta look at it from this perspective. If they throw all their eggs into one basket, and I'm referring to Dovetail here, if they throw all their eggs into one basket and they do all these features, right, and then they keep adding these features, you'll soon run out of new things to be a unique selling point. And then in turn, you'll find that people won't be asked about it because they've come to expect, they'll take it for granted. People will take the toilets and take the interactive barriers and enhanced GSM-R and whatever. They'll take it for granted. Like, for example, we take for granted announcements now. If they suddenly went, we'd all kick off. Or suspension. Suspension we didn't have 2 years ago. And it's a case of, like, a lot of these features, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew in terms of development because, like I say, people will then kick off when it's not there. I've been thinking about this for the past day. I like the yearly releases. I feel like the yearly releases are a bit overhated, like 3 routes plus 3 locos and deluxe and new features announcements, 70 quid and absolute steal. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I've been saying for ages. I think, let's be realistic. Yes, I think the only downside to annual releases is there's another number on the game and you have to re-download some of your content. But I think realistically, that's not that big of a deal. Because the core game is always free for like a couple of weeks. Well, it has been for the last couple of years anyway. So the core game's usually free. And I've always said this, like when a new core comes out, like for example a route's 30 quid. Whereas a core is got a lot more hype about it, usually got some new features like you say. And you're getting 3 routes for the price of 1.5. You really can't complain at that. And it's kind of like, at this point, the strategy used to help with marketing and help grow the game. So it grows the game, it helps us out kind of a way financially, and it kind of works for everyone. The only downside is the download issue. You picked up Stuttgart on sale, North East Corridor, Stamford and Medway Valley. I did a 218 on Stuttgart, a seller on North East Corridor, and 395 on Medway. They're all fantastic routes, high quality. Yeah, do you know what? North East Corridor, Stamford is one that's is a strong route. It's one of them. If I had more time to play the game, I would probably find myself doing a few runs on that one because I actually quite like that route. I would probably go as far to say that is my favourite American route today, and I was not really surprised at that because, well, I was hyped for it. You didn't know about the working toilets. Elijah, remind me. Or, if you have the time, go and check out my recent short video. I'll show it there. But if you want to see it in action, we'll certainly jump into it at some point. Do you have the Mark II coaches? I don't know. I would imagine if I've got Northern Transpennine, the heavy freight pack. I've got the Just Trains routes, so I'd imagine if they came to those, then yes. You can see there's been a few reworks around here. I think it was a bit more built up around here, wasn't it? Like there was a lot more foliage. They've got rid of some of that now. You couldn't see all this beforehand, I don't think. Train fact, there are 3 types of power trains: diesel, electric and bi-mode. AC and DC, which can be bi-mode. DC stands for direct current. AC/DC is never banned. Would have got Medway for 30 quid. 30 quid is a bit steep for a short commuter route. I'm going to disagree with you there, because I think... Oh, hello. Hello. No? No.
I think it's dry and straight. It's not as bad as I thought.
That's actually quite nice, that. Moots is coming in.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that looks nice, actually.
Like cherry coke, sort of.
Yeah, now that you're less purple.
Well, I am, but...
Yeah, but no one's going to see your leg. But stay to your foot as well. I've told them about your incident. Well, I've said that your hair looks nice, but it looks... Yeah, the house is... The bath was, like, literally about 6:30, the bath was fluorescent pink.
It literally looked like a crime scene.
Pink?
Mm.
Anyway.
Right, enjoy.
Thanks, my love. Love you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to disagree with you on that £30 front, because... I mean, there's some routes coming out where you can't have any new stock. There's nothing that fits for it. The 375 is the only thing that works on this. And if your justification for a new route is that, well, if it comes with a new piece, if it becomes with an existing piece of rolling stock, I'm not going to get it. Well, you're not going to be able to get any routes where the 375 will have to come into it, and there's nothing else that works there. Because what else could they have put there? A 465? We've already got it. What else could they have put there? A Javelin? We've already got it. So there is nothing else new in some cases. And they're aware of that, and by doing that, they've completely reworked the 375 to the point where you've got 2 different variants, a fully, enhanced GSM-R, toilets. There's so many different features with the new 375 that it may as well be a new train. Because as well, a variant of a train, like a Dash 3 or whatever, is sometimes quite a lot different. That's why they are a subclass. So, although it's a subclass of a train, it's still a new type of train. I think this is worth 30 quid. 100. I think this is worth the 32.99, the price on some other routes. Apologies, I'm really far behind in the chat, so I am trying to catch up. Sorry about that. You've just done playing East Coast Way and seeing the static cows and sheep was a disappointment after... Well, exactly. After Medway Valley, you now look at scenery and get disappointed by it. So if if they have to cut short on something... Look, for example, I can't remember what it was recently, but there was a route that released, and there was a DLC or something, and it had no suspension, and I can't remember what it was. There was no suspension on it, and people kicked off about it. But a few years ago, people wouldn't have cared, because it wasn't a feature. Even the Birmingham Crew route is more worth it. I don't feel like, in my opinion, the price of a DLC shouldn't be determined by its length. I feel like it should be... Because you've got to bear in mind as well, is that a DLC, regardless of its length, there still needs to be a lot of work if it's got a lot of stations. And this is why I always say that if you've got a short, like, 30-mile route, it'll have a lot more stations. Whereas a longer 100-mile route will only have 5 stations. But people don't seem to whinge about that. And in my opinion... A shorter 30-mile route that's got 20 stations on it, let's say it's got a couple of branches on it as well, you'll actually probably play that more than you will do the longer route. You'll just cover more mileage. and that's the only difference. You also play Birmingham to Crewe and the PIS is broken. Instead of saying Wolverhampton on the PIS, it says Eleanor. I believe that's being investigated. I'm not too sure what the status is on that at the minute. The ScotRail 158 is broken for its announcements. He was kind of hoping for Trenton to Philadelphia to complete the loop. I think the reason why that's not being considered is I think there's an issue with SEPTA licensing. I think they mentioned that in the Trenton preview stream way back when. It just says this is the ScotRail service and says nothing. Coordinate says nothing. Where are you playing the ScotRail? Is that on its home route? Is that on the Edinburgh-Glasgow route? What if they did a Train Sim 7 bundle where you get free routes with features as well and the locos and a game update? Well, George, that's literally what happened with Train Sim 6, 5, 4 and 3. If they can fix the access penalty bug for Stamford, it would be a really, really good route. Did I just see the 700's pantograph up? No, I didn't see his pants up. I didn't see it. I didn't check it, to be fair. That's not even a fact. It's just general knowledge to know what AC and DC stands for, Nathan. Well, he might not know. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what AC stands for or DC. Because I'm not really because everyone uses AC and DC, so you don't need to really know what it means. If someone asked me what DC stand for, I'd say, I don't know, District of Columbia or something. I don't know. 30 quid for a quality and nifty features, reworked sound, expert quality train. Exactly. Medway is probably the best, absolutely based on how they have completed the environment on the route. It feels truly immersive. Well, there you go. Then charge 25 quid, simple. Well, just don't buy it. If you're not happy with the price, then wait for a sale, because you're not forced to buy it. You just have the only thing, right, is that with the price, you'll have FOMO. I think 30 quid for this is absolutely justified. There's some routes that I think have come out and I feel like they've been overpriced. And in fact, you are witness to this because I said Stamford's not worth $32.99. It's a good route, but it's not worth $32.99. Whereas this, I believe, is, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. I think the Medway price is priced accordingly because of how good the route is, but then again, you can get Train Sim Standard Edition right now for cheaper than some of these routes. Yeah, because that's the whole idea of Standard Edition. Like we were talking about earlier on, the core game is cheaper because it helps sell the new version of the game. It's kind of an incentive to be able to pick up the new game. That's just business. You know, it's like a meal deal, right? So the best analogy, and take this home with you, right? Google it, right? Supermarkets lose money on a meal deal. Do you know when you go in, get a sandwich, packet of crisps, and a drink, right? They actually lose money because you'll see that they're individually priced, like it's $2.50 for a sandwich and it's £1.20 for a packet of crisps and £1.50 for whatever, but it's like 3 or 4 quid for a meal deal. They lose money because the meal deal itself, people are incentivized to buy because they think as a marketing strategy it's cheaper, so people will buy it. So in the end, and also if you go into a shop for a meal deal, you'll most likely walk out more than a meal deal. So it's a marketing strategy. They'll lose. It's a loss because it's more of a marketing strategy. Same with the core edition of Train Sim World, where the core stuff is a bit cheaper because then you then pick it up, and then when the new stuff comes out that is normal price, you'll be like, oh, I might get that. And don't tell me it doesn't work, because most of you here will be on Train Sim World 6, whether you got it for free or whether you got the standard edition, because that is just business. I've fallen for it, you lot have fallen for it many times. It's hard to drive and read live chat at the same time. It's just because it's really, really popular, which I'm not complaining about at all. I love that it's nice and popular tonight. You'd happily pay 35 quid for this. I know this isn't Train Sim World related, but City Skylines 2 has flopped for consoles. It's not even released on consoles. I've got City Skylines 2. I played it the other day, and it's alright. I put it this way, I've got City Skylines 1 and 2 downloaded alongside each other because it needs work. I wouldn't be surprised if the Trent Valley line's a bit more expensive as well, because that one's so long. I reckon that will be a $32.99. That's not me confirming any prices, I don't know. but I would imagine it would be, and I think that's fully justified as well. The suspension on the 395 is so much better now though. I've got over 800 miles already on Southeastern. Mind you, I only started playing this in March of last year. Do you think Train Sim World 7 will have multiplayer? I don't think Train Sim World 4 will be Train Sim World 7 will be a thing. I'm joking, of course. No, it won't have multiplayer. I don't think we'll ever see Train Sim World multiplayer. I feel like if we had multiplayer for Train Sim World, it'd be a separate game. I'm not bothered about the length, it's more playability, and in Medway Valley you get enough playability to last a business year. Exactly! And this is the thing, if you're very one-dimensional, look at it from a, how many miles it is perspective. I mean, East Coast Main Line, right, 5 stations, and yes, it's a 90-mile route, but I can do 1 run on that, and that's it. Whereas Medway Valley, there's different types of runs, Southeastern High Speed, different types of runs, I mean, heck, even Cardiff City Network. That's a really short... Cardiff City Network and Cathcart Circle. Some of the shortest routes in the game. But I love them. They're some of my most played routes in terms of time. Maybe not route mileage. But in terms of time, they're up there in one of my, like, the highest. Makes me wonder how much Trent Valley is going to be. Oh, that I've already mentioned. I reckon it'll be more than a standard price. I mean, it would be nice if it's $29.99, but I think with a 100-mile route, you've got to expect a bit more of a higher price for it. You should try London Overground on that route, and after you've tried this locomotive. Jack, we're doing just all things Southeastern tonight, hence the title of the stream. I often do a thing where, like, when a new DLC comes out or whatever, I will then... And if we've got a few, like, for example, Southern trains or West Midlands trains or whatever, I will do, like, an all things where we'll kind of we'll go around the network. So I won't be doing anything overground, but we have done an all things TFL, funnily enough, and I might do another one of them again soon, because that was quite popular. I know a lot of people like TFL. I do wonder if the bar has been raised by Medway Valley Line that other DLCs could be compared to. I know Just Trains is elite, but how much could this impact and raise the levels? This is the situation where you've got to really have a stand back, because there is a lack of consistency in terms of, like, route quality, because some people know more things than others, because obviously Firefly know a lot of stuff about how to build the game, Dovetail obviously do, but some other third parties may come in and not actually know that much. They'll have the basic features and that's it, and I think that's fine, because otherwise, if people are going to alienate people from coming in and not really knowing how to do it, but they want to give it a go, then let them give it a go. As long as it's got the basic features, then fine. The other features in this and all other bits of quality and whatever else, I think are certainly a bonus, but I don't think you should let it think that this is going to be the standard. This is kind of very much, I reckon, a one-off. Until Firefly do something else. Right, this little gate here, this opens. Very cool, cool little thing. You'll find that this 66 will randomly come out of here and this gate will open. Really cool little feature. If I got charged $32.99 for Medway, I wouldn't complain. I really want this route, but performance looks horrid. I don't know if it is though. Performance isn't an issue at all. I've got no issues with performance. Do you know what? Honestly, in terms of optimization, this is pretty good. West Cornwall Local is a joke of a route. They need to take that out of the store. Oh, I don't think it's a joke of a route. I feel like it's certainly something that could have a bit of work with it. Some people enjoy it. I enjoy it. I think it's a decent route. If there was a few refinements to it, then yeah, that would be nice. West Cornwall Local needs a remaster. I agree. Depends on the cost of goods being sold. Can't really hate a company for having to do basic business practices like 90% of the time. Well, let's be realistic. If they didn't operate like a business and they weren't breaking a profit, then we wouldn't have Train Sim World. Let's just be realistic there. Like, it's a case of if something doesn't break even or get profit, then it won't function. It's like, for example, fuel companies with this whole oil crisis because of what's going on. The reason why fuel is so expensive is because they need to break even or make a profit. And they've got all their overheads of like fuel duty and you know, shipment and whatever else. And you know, ditto for Dovetail, they've got distribution costs, they've got development costs, they've got wages to pay, they've got electric bills to pay, they've got software like subscriptions, of course, because you know, Unreal Engine's a thing that you have to pay for, and like there is a lot of costs in it. And I would imagine they'll know that, well, we have like 1,000 to 1,000 to 5,000 players on this, maybe, you know, 500 to 1,000, because there's not that many people that play Train Sim World. Let's be realistic. It's not like a Euro Truck where, you know, it's got 500,000 wish lists on consoles. It's nowhere near that level. We would all love it to be, and if it was, it would be a much stronger game. But unfortunately, train simulation is very niche, and in order to provide for what us lot want, but also to break even, there's got to be certain costs. You're proud of that burp? My God, I forgot I did that. Is the performance good? Very good. I haven't had... Do you know what? I don't believe I've seen any stuttering, which is a bit of an interesting one, really, because every single route you've had stuttering, and this hasn't been one. Cool. There we go. Bloody hell, you got to wait till 10 past. Why do you have to wait so long? Okay, well that's fine. That gives us a perfect time to answer all the questions. Right. Maybe a co-op mode in future. I don't think there'll be a co-op mode in Train Sim World as we know it. I think if Dovetail want to do a multiplayer train game, they will. I think it'd be a separate thing though. Talking about the meal deal, depends on the cost per unit and what it is sold for. Yeah, but still, it is well known that the meal deal concept means that supermarkets are at a loss because it works. Cardiff City is great. You're so excited for the second half of the West Coast Main Line. Which is better, Cathcart Circle or Cardiff City? That's a good question. Cardiff City, I think, wins because it's DMUs, and I quite like that, and also it's two different DMUs. Whereas Cathcart is one train. I know that you have the 380, but that's a separate purchase. But yeah, I'd probably say Cardiff. Are you excited for the Class 90? Yeah, I won't talk too much about it, but either tomorrow or Tuesday when I upload my video, because I may or may not have filmed my video for it. Yeah, you'll see that it is actually a good bit of fun, but I won't talk too much about it. Obviously, if I manage to get the video edited in time tonight, then you will see. My opinion. I think it's quite decent. Don't let Train Sim World skew your opinion on the East Coast Main Line. They picked the worst stretch of the East Coast Main Line. Well, I, to an extent, agree. Do you know what? Quite. Hold on, excuse me a second. I'm gassy because I've drank that water. That tea. I disagree with you because Doncaster to Peterborough, albeit not the most entertaining stretch in the world, is actually kind of familiar to me because I've done that run many a time. I'm gonna try and come in there. So actually, I would say it's a pretty decent stretch in my opinion. But even still, like, I would much prefer doing a West Coast Mainline Birmingham to Crewe route than a run than I would do a East Coast Mainline run. What's your GPU? Good question. I don't have an answer. I really don't have an answer. I've never seen Medway Valley Line have toilets. Well, I'll show you them now because I've just seen a 375 pull in. So we'll go and have a little look at it because we've got a few minutes to kill here. This is how you go out. So this is what I mean. So like, although there's less mileage, you've got a lot of stations. Quite a lot of stations. So if we go in here, we should have some time to be able to get into the toilets. Where are they? They're there. Hopefully this train doesn't steal us. But there you go. You've got the toilets there. You can do... Hold on. There you go, look, the toilets. You can go into here, you can close the door, you can lock it, you can sit on the toilet, you can flush the toilet, you can do that with the handrail, and you can flush the thing. Hold on. Wait for it. There you go. Toilets. Toilets in Train Sim World. Not the first toilets, mind you. But they are. They are there. They're the first passenger toilets. You really like Cathcart and Cardiff. How is everything, Richie? It's going good, thank you, Anton. How's things with you? I wonder when the Richmond extension is coming to May. Seems like we have been waiting a while for it. This is another situation of a third party, though, isn't it? Because it's May Johannes, Incredible Trains, and he's a solo developer, and I think he's openly, or it's been openly announced that he's been working on other people's stuff. So he's one man, you know, one guy, and you can't juggle everything. Talking about Firefly raising Dovetail's levels for base fruits. You missed the seat height feature in your video features. Yeah, seat height isn't really that new of a thing. I don't know why I've checked it in this. Isn't really that new of a thing. It's been in some other ones, but I wanted to more highlight some stuff we really haven't seen before. And it was also just a bit of fun. I'm excited to get this route tomorrow. It looks great. First impressions matter, but so does compassion for first-time devs. Medway Valley runs pretty well on the PS5, so hopefully that helps. You can also adjust the seat height. Yeah, I do know of that one. That was just obviously, I feel like 5 new features. It was either 3 new features or 5 new features, because 5 sounds better than 3. How you doing, Bovril? Just trying to see where I am at. One of the developers on British Ace's stream said if all the board allow it, they'll add the 70. Yeah, I watched that, wasn't it, Adam? Gabriel, how you doing? Question: what add-ons can I buy for West Coast Mainline South London to Milton Keynes? What add-ons? As in, like, what trains? The Class 805 comes onto that? You play Train Sim 6 on the PC? Do you want multiplayer on Metro Rivals when it comes out? I think it's multiplayer anyway. You should do a real world train podcast. I don't know how I feel about podcasts. Like for myself to do a podcast. If you want a podcasty sort of style content, obviously nothing to do with trains, so feel free to go and check out mine and Shan's YouTube channel, the Married to the Grid, because that's all to do with F1. Do you think we'll ever get a thing like in SER when one player can be a guard whilst other is a driver? I don't know. I don't think we'd get it in Train Sim World. When does the 90 come out? I can't remember. I want to say it's tomorrow. Wouldn't the Pacer be a separate purchase for Cardiff City? I purchased the 380 and I love it. Yes, the Pacer is a separate purchase, yeah. Minecraft Zombie burp. 150 and 153. They should add crew to Holyhead, I agree. Toilet sim leaked. You'd love to see the inside of the signal boxes in the Medway Valley. Can you do that? I can't quite remember. The NPCs in this game are so dead they look like robots. I find it amazing how they probably the probably top 5 best routes in Train Sim World in terms of quality are quite local to me. Feels like a dream. I'm playing the Medway Valley right now. This scenario, it's no good. Dex has said that the Richmond extension is 0 to 3 months away. Well, there you go. Jason's put in a little link. How you doing, Jason? Hope you're doing well. Richie Rogan when? Do you think they'll ever add the Class 68? I don't know. Maybe. I tell you what, to de-escalate the debate, I was in Alan Thompson's stream the other day. I'm there a lot. He says he personally wouldn't add toilets. He thinks it's unnecessary. Thoughts? Well, yeah, it's extra dev time, and it's extra dev time for, well, everyone's just gonna, pardon the pun, take the piss out of it. So, if you, like I say, if you've got time constraints, then don't bother. This is the thing, like, you don't really need to do this stuff. It makes it a bit more sellable, let's say, but it's not necessary. Like, I wouldn't be disappointed if the next train doesn't have toilets, and I feel like that's the thing where some people will be like, oh, Dovetail have flopped because they've not included a toilet in whatever's the next train. Like, it's a one-off, man. Chill out. But yeah, I agree. If it's not necessary, then it's not. I don't feel like toilets in Train Sim World are necessary anyway. You play Train Sim World to drive a train and to a lesser extent be a guard on a train or explore the route. You don't play Train Sim World to use a toilet. Let's be realistic. If you want to use a toilet, then you'll play a toilet simulator. The PS5 version of Medway has no blurry textures from what I can see. It also runs very smoothly with no issues. The route is top notch. Here is the question: Great Western Express remaster or this? That's a difficult question because the Great Western Express remaster was free, and also that's like, yeah, it's a difficult one. I would say, I don't know. In terms of a new route, this. But the Great Western Express remaster is pretty decent. How you doing, Haven? Hope you're doing well. What is the busiest station in Train Sim World 6? It's probably London Victoria or Clapham Junction. Trying to extend the Midland Main Line is a mess, as you need both Derby and Nottingham to go both to Sheffield, and it would make a difficult situation to get Derby to Nottingham with trying to hop. I think, Ringer Matthew, if we ever got another section of the Midland Main Line, I think like Derby to Sheffield would just be a standalone thing. I feel like it's enough of a project to be its own thing. You know, realistically, it's how many miles? It's about 35 miles. It's not overly long, but you know, it's still a pretty decent run in my opinion. Here is something I tested. I ran a route and didn't pick up a single passenger and still got a platinum, so a passenger is just an unnecessary thing. Passengers are just there to add to the immersion. Arguably, like, they don't because they're terrible, but but that's not an issue with Train Sim World. The passengers in game I think are default Unreal Engine passengers, well, characters anyway. Personally, the ideas of needing the toilets in Train Sim World is a bit shit. Unnecessary resources wasted where they could be used elsewhere. Well, exactly. I agree with that sentiment because it's great to have them and it's funny, but let's be realistic. They don't actually add any gameplay elements, so it is just an additional feature. Have you noticed that if you train spot a Cuxton level crossing, once the train has passed, the crossing never goes back up again? The same, some of the other crossings as well. I did notice that in the previous stream I did. I don't know why. That could be just a bug that could be looking into. Let's be realistic. Out of all the bugs that sometimes we see in a route, there's not that many in this, so I think it's forgiven if there's one slight thing that creeps up. I wish they would add the BR Southern Class 455-8 to London Commuter. You play Train Sim World to fair evade in the toilets. On that note, they should add people hiding in the toilets on guard mode. I think, if any of you watched British Ace's stream with Adam from Firefly, I think he said at first passengers were actually able to go in there, but I think it was messing up the guard mode because people were actually hiding in the toilets. They should electrify the Great Western Express. So if they were to do an electrified version of the Great Western Express, I would imagine it would be a new route. To be able to change the fundamentals of a route, you'd need to just make it again. Look at Island Line, for example. The Island Line, the original, and then when they had to when they reworked it to include all the new elements that are based on 2022, they had to make it a separate route. Arguably, in my opinion, if you look on Steam now, the Island Line 2022 was first sold as a route. It's now sold sold as a Loco DLC because it's now sold as the Class 484 Loco, but it comes with the new version of the route. So arguably, if they wanted overhead line equipment, they could do an Elizabeth line DLC and then just rework Great Western Express. I don't see that happening. However, it would be absolutely fantastic if they did. They should add the London King's Cross to Newark with Grand Central, LNAR and Great Northern. I don't imagine they'd do London all the way to Newark. That's a lot of route mileage. I mean, London to Peterborough is going to be a bit of a stretch if they ever make that. Has your favourite word changed from happy days to let's be realistic? No, they can coexist, Anton. I do have lovely stuff, happy days, fantastic. They're all my little buzzwords, my little catchphrases. Because you know what it is? When I'm recording content for Train Sim World, it is so difficult to not mess up on what you're saying, and because you've got a moving object that you've got to focus on, you can't just stop and start again. There's been many times when I'm going about and kind of like end what I'm trying to say, I will just end it with happy days or fantastic or awesome, because then I can then stop, take a breather and think about the next thing I'm going to say. But because I'm going along a route at a certain speed, I've got to think of the next thing to say pretty quickly. That's why my style of editing is how it is, because when I filmed my first ever video, I used to make a lot of mistakes, and I don't like it. Like, for example, just then, where I stuttered on saying first. I hate that in a video. It really winds me up. So I like to edit that out and get rid of it. And in turn, that became my style, because I feel a lot more comfortable doing that. Lizzie is quite automated, though. Well, there you go. Do you think they'll ever let all the routes be free in Train Sim World 6? Yeah, if they wanted to bankrupt Dovetail and never make any content ever again. No, I don't feel... Content will never be free, especially not in this day and age. Stuff isn't free. Nothing is ever free. And if it is free, it's usually an incentive for you to buy other stuff from people. I'm glad Kimi Antonelli won the Grand Prix. You should have watched our mine and Shan's live stream. We were doing a watch along this morning, 6 o'clock this morning. And then went back to bed at 8 o'clock and I woke up at midday, which was good. Do you think there would be enough good demand for Dovetail to make an Elizabeth line route? You never know till you make it. You know, forum suggestions are one thing, but you know, it's kind of like, this is why they do their little whatchamacallits, you know, the winter surveys to see what actually is popular. Yeah, I can still mess up on videos. What date did you start this YouTube channel? Technically, I set it up on January 30th, 2024. I started making content, I think, on the... No, I set it up on the 28th of January, 2024, and then I started making content on the 30th of Jan. Oh, no, not the term cash grab. Do you know what is a cash grab? Tax. Tax is a cash grab. I love you younger people don't really understand the concept of real life, I think, in some things, because when you become an adult, nothing is free. Nothing is ever free. And if you get something for free, like I say, it's an incentive to be able to then buy more of it. For example, if you get like a free voucher for something, if you win that free voucher, you'll get it, and then it'll kind of help you. You'll be like, oh, I've got this free thing now. Or, you know what, I might go and buy more stuff from that one particular business. It's just how it works. I like how Firefly made their own custom passenger announcement and didn't use the Dovetails ones because it's so much better. No, I think it's using the Dovetails one. I do believe it is. That's just how the system works. Some routes were free for a certain amount of time. Again, the reason why they were free is just because it was like... It's like a special offer, isn't it? Do you think Southeastern High Speed should get a remaster? I think when people ask me that, you must not have been playing Train Sim World that long, because before Train Sim World 3, Southeastern High Speed didn't even have the Ashford section. You know, Southeastern High Speed Extended is called that because it got extended. The OGs will know that it went from St Pancras to Faversham, and then it didn't go to Dartford, and it didn't go to Ashford. You don't think Red Bull will win a race this year? I think well, there's speculation that that Verstappen's gonna throw the towel in. Yeah, Spirit of Steam. It's just like a special offer because it gets people playing for it, and then they'll be like, oh, I might get some other stuff whilst I'm here. The talk of free stuff has summoned me. And on that day, a legend called RichyRail was born. I came popping and screaming out the womb. They said they use their custom ones, at least that's what was said in the interview. Oh, I thought it were the standard system. Well, that's pretty decent. Will Dovetail Games ever make a free route again? Probably. At some point. Who knows? I don't know. I may be an ambassador, but I don't know the behind the scenes. Realistically, I've said this before, I've said it so many times. Realistically, I know as much as you lot know. I probably find out a slight bit of information maybe like a day before about the roadmap, and it's more just to kind of help us make content. But other than that, we don't actually find out that much stuff in advance. What's your local train operator? Technically Northern. This spot, by the way, is one of the best spots in the route to spawn in, because this bridge has got 3 whistle boards. So you've got like a whistle board just where we're going past there, and there's 2 down here, and it's fantastic. You can actually spawn in on here. If you spawn into, I think it's Peckham Tip or something like that, you spawn in about here. You spawn at this location, and then you can walk out here, walk safely along the route, and then you can stand there, and it's brilliant. It really is a good spot. Some pancake. No, that's intentional. Dovetail should give us a voucher for a free route. BCP Trains, how you doing? Southeastern High Speed technically had a remaster with its extension to Ashford and Dartford. In my opinion, it's the wrong extension. How so? What would you have preferred? Richard doesn't know everything. My immersion is shattered. Yes, contrary to popular belief, I don't actually know that much. Should I buy Medway Valley for your birthday? If you want a fantastic commuter route made by a very dedicated third party, then go for it. I do joke about Dovetail, but I love this game, and some of the routes are top notch. I know they're a business, but that needs to make money, and I can't even imagine how hard it is to make a route. Well, I couldn't do it. I can tell you that much. You just heard a level crossing. Yep. There's loads of level crossings on this. Absolutely loads of them. There you go, look. Hopefully this one lifts up. The ones we seem to watch don't actually go up for some reason. And oh, there you go. And then they start going. There you go. Off they go. Another one there. You went to Eversley International on St Pancakes Day when I said it. And it said it. Yeah, well it's kind of why I said it, to be fair. I've always called it St Pancake. I think the guy in the interview said it took 3 days to make one asset because it was off by like millimeters. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you've got to bear in mind as well, and this goes back to the whole, well, if it's a shorter route, if there's a shorter route, it's usually because they've got to make more stations, and every single station's got to be a custom building. Otherwise, it won't look right. And in some cases, some people have to, like, you know, learn how to do it. Like, for example, Paddock Wood it may have some assets that are like core to the game, but let's be realistic. A lot of this is bespoke. A lot of this has had to be made from scratch. And then when you come to do that like 16 times, I mean, how many stations are on this? Must be about 15 stations, like new stations. You then think about that. You're paying £2 for a station. That's not including the mileage. So let's say that the mileage is half the route. That's then £1 per station. And then if you counter in the reworked train, that's going to be about 50% of the budget. Regardless if it's a new train or not, they've not just ripped it out and, you know, basically copied it. They've ripped it out and started from scratch. So let's say that, you know, let's say a third of the budget goes towards the train. So then you've got, you know, £10 for the train, and then you've got around about 20 quid left for the route, and then it adds up a lot. HS1 extension is fine, but maybe not from Dartford. Should have it continued from Faversham. It's expensive. Yeah, well, it is, and that's just the reality of it, unfortunately. My day's been good, thank you, BCP. How about your day? Will there be any Irish routes? Hopefully, one day. She had the class 466 for the Medway Valley. It took them almost a year to make this route, and it's not that long. Just imagine how much a longer route like Trent Valley and how long that would be taken. You've got to bear in mind is people as well. I think there's more people that work at All Aboard than Firefly. But you, like I say, yeah, route. You've got to learn the tools. And if you think about it as well, the modders have been learning the tools because they've been doing mods for years, so they've kind of had a basic knowledge, or probably quite an advanced knowledge of how to build stuff in Unreal. So they've come into this with a knowledge of how to do it. So realistically, if they had to learn how to do everything from scratch, it probably would have taken closer to 2 years. Like, for example, myself, if I wanted to make a route right this second, I'd have to first learn Unreal, and then learn how to make assets, and then learn everything else. And it would probably take me about a year. Bearing in mind that third parties work in their free time, and I think people really forget this, is that third parties, majority of them, are doing this as a side hustle, essentially. Most of them have lives, have jobs, and this is just a way to make a bit extra money and also work on something they're passionate about. So, yes, it's took a year, but let's be realistic, Firefly are probably, whoever's in Firefly, are probably doing this in their evenings, in their free time. There is a mod for the 466, I'm not surprised. Irish tracks are slightly larger in width in the UK, so perhaps we might see an Irish route. Yeah, I mean, there is varying widths in gauge. For example, the upcoming Portuguese route, that will be Iberian gauge. The Bernina line is narrow gauge, so it's not unlike seeing different gauges of railway. You'd be down for an Irish route too, as their stock is interesting. Can we do some guarding? We'll see what we're like for time, to be honest, Anton. I'm barely just gonna have enough time to do 3 runs, so we'll see. He said 5 people work, and I think 2 or 3 are full time. Well, there you go then. But I'm saying in other cases, third parties are the majority of them are working in their free time. You saw a Black 5 yesterday, and I posted it on my YouTube channel. Nice. Yeah, feel free to pop it in self-promo. That's what it's there for. You'd love to see Firefly to make London Charing Cross to Dover Priory. I think if Firefly are going to make something else, because let's be realistic, I think they will make something else, I feel like they'll stay in this area. I feel like this will be like their, you know, like Just Trains will stick with the northwest 80s. I feel like they'll stick in this sort of area. You know, the southeastern area. And I wouldn't be against that. Just for context, our gauge is 1,435mm, or 4 foot, I think. 465. Bloody hell, cows. 465 guarding. Can you do guarding in the 465? Ashford to Sevenoaks would be more realistic. So I can see that HS1 to Ashford's actually winning. I find that interesting because we've done a javelin run on the Medway Valley, and then we're going to do another javelin run. So do you really want to see another javelin run? So who's going to do some northeast content? I think at this rate it's going to need to be you, Rex. I think that's the only person that's going to do it. I'll do it later because I posted a video at Level Crossing. We can do guarding in the 465 only on the Medway Valley line. I like this little feature here, the post office. The raw mail thing. You can see that would blatantly be a raw mail badge. Obviously licensing, you have to license stuff. Licensing seems like, and when I did the interview with All Aboard, it's not a fun thing at all. Licensing is certainly a tough kettle of fish. London commuter route extension to London Bridge. 4 foot and so many inches. You can do some northeast content. Go for it. How about HS1 to Ashford, but with a 375, specifically the -9? I'd like to do a timetabled service. I mean, can the 375 do a timetabled service? You're from the northeast. Can the Southern Class 171 layer onto London commuter? No, it wouldn't. It also wouldn't realistically layer onto it. Licensing can be as difficult as hell sometimes. You know what? What I learned with the conversation from all aboard is that licensing, everything you can think of needs licensing. If it's got some form of brand associated with it, it needs to go through licensing. Can't wait for the 70. I wish I had the knowledge to make a route, because I would love to make a route Stockton CA to San Jose driving the SS44 Charger. Learn the tools and get the proposal in, because you know it'd be, if you want to do it, go for it. And I always say this: if you want, people say like, I want this in the game. Why wouldn't they make this in the game? Well, learn how to do it and do it yourself. Make a bit of money from it. You'd love to see the Hope Valley line with all the northern stock. I would love to see the Hope Valley line. I really would. I want to just see more northern stuff anyway. See something else other than a bloody northern 323. I love a 323, but there's so much stock. Like, there's so much existing stock we've got in the game that's got northern variants. And there's so many gorgeous northern routes as well. I don't know why we haven't got more of it, to be honest. Happy days. That was a good service. I like that. Right. So you want to see HS1? We can do that. Let's see what we can do. And then I'm going to run to the toilet, turn my light on, because although the clocks went forward, it still goes dark at 7:30. Who wants Edinburgh to Newcastle in trains in 1-6? Let's extend HS1 to Dover Priory. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we can do. That's the wrong one. Shellfish and high speed. Can we do anything funky with the 375? Can we do Ashford? No. I don't think you can you? I don't think there is any services you can do. I don't believe. You want me to do a class 375-9 on high speed 1? I don't even think that would work. It's not got a pantograph, has it? If you know of any services where we can do it, I'll happily do it. It doesn't have the 373 or 374. It has HS1 but no Eurostar. Yeah, because it wouldn't stop anywhere. Manchester, Glasgow, perfect. Manchester to Glasgow Central is perfect. You've just made a for 0.013 yards stop. Incredible. Right, I'm just going to pop to the toilet and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. I'm back. You was trying to do the same 339 service as me. We won't do 700 because that's not Southeastern. It's not a Southeastern train. I'm thinking. I think we're gonna have to. You've lot have put the HS1 to Ashford, which is that is, and that's one. That's like what 40 of you want to see. So we'll have to just do HS1 to Ashford. Why not? Why not? That's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do. So let's do it. Let's see how long. I don't think there is any other services that do. There's definitely not any 375s that go along the fast bit. I certainly don't think there is anywhere. Is there any? No, I don't think there is. That's fine. That's fine. Some pancreas. It's only 40 minutes. That's all right. We can do that. I love democracy. Yeah, democracy's cool. Let's do it. Let's do an all beans. Let's do an all beans. Anyone know how far Southwestern High Speed actually runs? Southwestern? You've made a Great Western Railway 220. Dear me. Class 87 with Eurostar livery. Manchester Liverpool lines would be also good, but only we have all the applicable northern stock. Would offer good service variation and a big timetable. Right, let's get this thing beeping. Beeping, beeping, beeping. Right, let's unlock the doors. It's quite good this because I've actually been. It's quite surreal looking at this because I've been here before. There's a route hopping point for some reason. Also, the route hopping points are really, really awkward. Oh, there you go. Oh, we're outside. We're outside. King's Cross. Nice. Let's take a little look at King's Cross. Oh, hey, look at that. I mean, it's got stuff going through it, but yeah, you can get to King's Cross. Only just, but it's there. What happened to the bingo cards? We don't do them as much anymore. It's just more through time. I just don't have the time to do it. It's weird seeing this though. So, if you want a little fun fact, peeps, when I went to Dovetail Towers last year, I came into King's Cross on a Grand Central Voyager actually. I walked across here, walked through here and into here, and I met Jason, who's in the chat, train simulator driver, and some other people, Tintin as well, in this little spot here. And then we walked upstairs into here. Can't get in now, but we walked upstairs into here, and we got on the Javelin. The Javelin was actually on this platform. Interestingly, there we go. It's coming in now. It was a 10:50 service we got, I think. So it weren't this one. And then we got going. We went zooming. Some of the station is hilariously inaccurate. What? King's Cross? Yeah, it's because it's not been modelled. It's modelled to not be accessible. Right, come on, let's go. Let's go. Train simulator driver is from Australia. Yep, and he's come across to the UK a few times. Let's go. How you doing, Casper? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Richie, I live on the Southeastern Main Line and go to Ashford at least every 2 months. No, Ashford. We are going to Ashford, look. It's interesting. I've not seen a freight service here before. Of course, you've got the Midland Main Line thingies here as well. So they're doing their thing. I've also sat in the park, which is just around here somewhere. I think I can't quite remember whereabouts it is. I think it's over here. I think I've sat over here somewhere. This is all changed since this route came out, I think. And into the abyss we go. Evening, Southerner. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Can you please do the 87 or the 86 in Eurobound livery? No, we're not doing anything other than Southeastern stuff. Hence the name of the stream. Guess I'm getting route. You getting what? Say that again. Guess I'm getting ready for the Richie law. What does that mean? I know law is like a thing, isn't it? You will actually see. I don't know if you'll see it now, but I think there used to be Thameslink trains that came in and out of here. Oh, there you go. Look, perfect timing. Perfect timing. So you do see Thameslink on here. And they go. I think they go on the underground platforms. There you go. You can't get on them, obviously. Right, anyway, we can speed up. Let's get going. Shed. I'm alright, thanks, mate. Being busy, but a productive one. Ashford is hilariously inaccurate in parts. How so, Dex? How is it inaccurate? You got to bear in mind that this came out. I think this is based off 2019. Freight, Southeastern freight. Yeah, but it's not Southeastern branded trains though, is it? If I had all the time in the world, I would probably do some freights eventually. Richie Laurie's RichyRail has an arch nemesis called Rolfie Road. It shouldn't sound like that. The 700 is on AC. Yeah, but it's just because there's no wires there, I don't think. There might have been wires there. I don't think it's important. You don't drive the thing, do you? Oh, people are speaking in a language. But yeah, going back to the thing about the bingo cards. So with the bingo, I found that we do still do bingo from time to time, but like it's a lot of time to stream like for a couple of hours anyway. And then when I'm prepping and I've got to sort out a bingo card and stuff, sometimes it can sometimes take away from the setup time. So I don't always plan to do it. We will do it at some point though, don't worry. In terms of general admin, by the way, peeps, we have had 2 new subscribers during this stream, so that is absolutely fantastic. Welcome aboard to the 2 new people that have just subscribed. I'll say just subscribed, you may have subscribed ages ago. The 395012 is the Pride one. Yeah, I do believe there is a Pride one. We've had a few members in the Discord as well. That noob guy, welcome to the Discord server. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. You're saying 312, 012 is the Pride one. Well, this isn't 012, is it? But it is in the game. 012. I have seen it. Do the reverse with it. What do you mean? Awesome, Richie. Another 2 people into the Richieverse. Yeah, that's it. We've now got 7,637 people sat on the RichyRail train, which is, by the sounds of things, just a standard day on cross-country voyages. Stratford International. I am intrigued to find out whether... Because they put a route hop point on this route. Is there a route hop point to... No, there's not. Because Mildmay's around here somewhere, isn't it? Question, can you drive the LNER Class 801 out of Glasgow Central Station? Yes, I believe you can if you own the Class 158, I think, anyway. I'm not sure. Remind me, we'll have a look. Tornado is a rail tour right now. Nice. I'd quite like to see Tornado. It'd be a cool one. Right, let's go to Ebbs Feet. It's a lot of tickets to check. It is a lot of tickets to check. No one can escape the Richieverse. Fun fact, Stratford never went international. Same with Manchester International Depot. Yeah, wasn't it a thing for the Olympics? Wasn't Stratford International built, and then the whole international idea was to make it sound better for you know, tourists and stuff. I also find it interesting that, like, you've got Birmingham International, which is also not an international station, but it's just because it serves the airport. Manchester International Depot. That's a thing. Never heard of that before. You know what they should do? They should recreate Eurostar services, turn a 390 or an ICE3 into a custom Eurostar livery. You do get LGV, TGV things on this. They do layer into this. I just don't have it. I might have it, but I've not got it installed. Stratford, not international. That's it. Class 158 EMT or the ScotRail one? The ScotRail 158, because the ScotRail 158 adds a new timetable to both Edinburgh, Glasgow and Fife Circle. This is where we can go go fast. How big is the quality difference from playing Train Sim World 4 on Train Sim World on PS4 to PS5? Massively, Ringer. Massively. When I transferred from PS4 to PS5, I saw a massive difference. It is actually quite incredible how much there is a difference. It'd be good if Train Sim World 6 had a police chase mode. A police chase mode? Why? Why would you want that, Hornby? It's a train simulator. They should rename it to Stratford International into Stratford High Speed. Yeah, but if they ever wanted to make it international, I can imagine, as stupid as it sounds, it probably cost quite a bit just to change it. It's so worth going from PS4 to PS5. Well, yeah, I mean, straight off the bat, you've got the likes of, like, BML. The BML's got a reduced timetable. You've got loads of other routes that have got reduced timetables. At the way it's going, PS4's getting less and less new content for Train Sim World 6. I mean, to be fair, DLCs, like, for example, Blackpool Branches, was one of the first DLCs that I played on the PS5. And then I played it on the PS4, and my god, does it not perform that well. So I think, realistically, PS4 seen its day. I mean, we're in 2026. That console came out in 2013. Let's put this into perspective, peeps. Right, the PS4 in 2026 is the same age as the PlayStation 2 was when the PS4 came out. Do you really think that a game that came out on the PS4 was going to be playable on a PS2? No, not a chance in hell. The fact that the PS4 has survived that long with still games coming out on it, I think is a bit of a miracle. So the fact that they're still releasing content for a 13-year-old piece of hardware, I think they should have got rid of it years ago. Years ago. And I think Sony are actually pulling the plug on the PS4 as well. But it's mad to think that. I mean, I think if you wanted to upgrade, you've timed it at the worst possible time, because they're actually rising the prices of the PS5s. You're definitely going to get Birmingham to Crewe. Good choice. Good choice. You bought a second-hand one, so excited PS4 crashes on me now. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the PS4 can't handle it. I like this bit. This bit's cool. Plenty of sheds. Be cool if you could access that. You probably could. You probably can even. How you doing, Ben? Hope you're doing well. That 56 guy, hope you're doing well as well. It's so close to St Pancras. I was literally train spotting a Raynham earlier today and I saw one class 373 and two class 395s. At Raynham? I didn't realise that the 373s went to Raynham. My advice for any PS4 users is to upgrade ASAP as soon as you can afford it. I would say so. The best chance would have been over Christmas because I actually picked up I picked up a PlayStation 5 digital for 290 quid, I think it was, which sounds expensive, but that's about 10 Train Sim World DLC. So if you can sacrifice Train Sim World for a DLC for a little bit, you can get a whole new experience. It was a PS5 Slim like, but yeah, they were going for pretty decent prices. I forgot you was live. Popping up to say hello. Popping up to the... Wait, what? I forgot you was live. I'm popping up to the shop to get some munch. Okay, Ben. Sounds good. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Mazda? No apology. Don't have to apologise about being late. I know people have got lives. What's your best train class on the Train Sim World 6? Favourite train class? Probably the Voyager. I'm liking the Voyager. I fired up the Xbox One S to play some Forza with Dad the other day. It was so slow. It's mad how slow it is. Mega Gamer, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. 290 quid, absolute bargain. Yeah, it was something like that. It wasn't expensive. Well, I know 300 quid's expensive, but... Well, I mean, it's not. I think 300 quid nowadays isn't that expensive. £300 about... Well, put it this way. When me and Shan go to America, we paid for seats on an airplane, and the seats on an airplane came to about 200 quid. So, you know, I don't think 300 quid is that bad nowadays. Just got to work for it. Going into web sleep, so we need to pay attention to what we're doing. Yours was a bit more than that. Yeah, well, my original PlayStation, which I've given to Shan now, that PlayStation that was 600 quid when it first came out. You got yours for 300 quid with digital edition, 2 controllers and a headset. Yeah, 300 quid, not bad. Oh, I think that's pretty decent, that. The station just passed. Raynham? I thought Raynham was the other way. Could be wrong there. Is there another Raynham? Okay, with an extra controller, a game, and I believe an extra charger. Mine was just the base. I did see an FC26 variant though. That was the same price, but that sold out really quickly. Maybe do a 1054 train to Ebbsfleet International. After this, we'll probably do. Well, we'll probably do something else after this. To be fair. Let's stop there. Cool. Open the doors. Probably got one more service to squeeze in here. So what next? Should we do? What next? Should we do a 375 on the Southeastern high speed slash yeah, 375 on there. Should we do a 465 on Southeastern high speed? Should we do a 375 on BML? Because you can do it on BML. Or should we do a 375 on the Medway Valley line? It'd probably be a short bit of the Medway Valley line. Slash Southeastern main line. Because, yeah, the bottom bit. Why not? There's your options. Do you want to see a 375 on Southeastern high speed, a 465 on Southeastern high speed, a 375 on a BML service, or a 375 doing the Tonbridge to Paddock Wood bit? Toby, I haven't really got the time, to be fair, tonight. If I want to squeeze in another type of service, I don't really want to do the same thing again if I can help it. Maybe if we had more time, but unfortunately I don't have too much of it tonight. Yours came with Star Wars Outlaws. What is the one route everyone would like to see? I'll start with Carlisle to Dumfries. I would like to see maybe the Harrogate Loop would be quite cool. Both bits. Don't think I should have left yet. Oh well. How long have we got? 20 minutes left on this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because of time, I'm going to do something slightly different. So we've done a high speed 1 section. I know that's technically not that, but we're going to do something else because I'm actually quite cautious of time. So, what should we do? What shall we do? 19 votes. Can we get to 20 votes in the poll? You want to see the Southeastern mainline bit, do you? Let's have a look. Southeastern high speed. Medway Valley even. One more vote in the poll. I'm guessing it's going to be... There you go. Let's do that and let's do a quick section along here. Try and squeeze some more stuff in. Tonbridge to Paddock Wood, yes, that's what we'll do. We'll do. Ones that go. Is there ones that go from? Is there none that go from? They all seem to go to. They all seem to go to Tonbridge. Tonbridge to Paddock Wood. There you go. I was wondering where the other services were. There we go. We can do that. We can do that. Why not? Do. That's fine. Let's do that. It's the -6. Is that not what I'm in? The -6. Right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. That's the wrong one. There we go. Quick shortish one on there, then maybe we'll do the BML after this.
Welcome aboard this Southeastern service to Ramsgate, Callingham, Paddock Wood, Marden, Staplehurst.
How you doing, Jackson? Hope you're doing well.
Luckley, Ashford International, Chilham.
Ah, Gabriel, yeah, we'll have a look. Sorry, we'll have a look in a second. This is only 7 minutes, so it's okay. Thames Link on the Medway Valley. That's not Southeastern though, is it? Try the 375-3 scenario. I know it's. I know that one. That's 15 minutes. What's the busiest German route in Train Sim World? Oh gosh, I can't remember. They keep getting busier every time, don't they? You'd love to see the BML in Todd 4. I agree. I really would. I really would like to see that. Right, we need to just wait for the doors to lock, and then we can boogie. Now, my question is, how come the Dash 9 doesn't layer into this? I also feel like these have got improved sounds. Mop bucket. We're going a bit too quickly. Going a bit too quick. Unfortunately, I can't get the 90 tomorrow, but the week after I should be able to get it. It doesn't run here if I recall correctly. You like the new horn on the 375? There you go. There you go. You were talking to Fox about it and it's to do with the length or something. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it can't sub in. Can't wait for the Class 90. Firefly said the Dash 9 needs some work and then it's a matter of putting it in. Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough then. Don't make no odds to me because we've got plenty of 375s. Unfortunately, Toby, I can't stream tomorrow. I've got work tomorrow. Ah, Toby, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but unfortunately, I've got a full-time job. Hence why I'm not streaming overly late tonight because I've got to be up. I've got to be up at 6 a.m. And I've still got stuff to do tonight. So unfortunately, because of that, I can't stream much longer than what I want to, and also I can't stream tomorrow. And I'm certainly not going to stream tomorrow night because sometimes I just want to relax, you know. I have a wife to look after as well. It's the same with the 377-3. Oh, is that why that doesn't... Is that... Because does Southern realistically layer into this? If we're going to get some more 80s routes, I would like to see more commuter trains other than the 101 or the 142. I think we're getting a new one with that. Is it the Carlisle... Yeah? Just a minute. Just give me 5 minutes. It's very windy. It's quite funny that you can go and sit on the toilet in Train Sim 16. It's just hilarious. Class 158 EMT or ScotRail? I don't know. That's a good question. I like the ScotRail one because I like ScotRail trains. I think they look nice. My goodness gracious me, is that the rain? Bloody hell. Proper coming down. Bear with me a second, peeps. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Apologies. There's really, really bad weather at the moment, for some reason, and it sounds like my house is about to fall down. What's Toby been saying? Oh dear. Okay. Right. Brain rot. Work the enemy of the Richieverse. Well, arguably no, because work pays for the computer and the bills and the internet and for everything else. The only thing that work doesn't pay for is the DLC, because I get them. But in order for me to work, in order for me to be able to stream to you lot, I need to work and be able to earn the money. Because unfortunately, YouTube doesn't pay that much money. I mean, it would if this worked. This is where some of you might have got might have had a random advert. Just as a joke, of course. But no, YouTube doesn't pay full time. I mean, if it did, happy days. I'd love to do this as a full time thing. I'd love to do social media of some kind as a full time thing. I feel like I've got the personality for social media. Rex, you're going to head off. You've got some recordings to make before tomorrow. Thanks for the stream, Richie, and I'll catch you later. Thank you for coming, Rex. Much appreciate it. If any of you haven't subscribed to Rex already, go and subscribe to Rex. Really good content creator. Does a lot of train sim mod stuff. And just an all-round decent geezer. How you doing, Great Western? Hope you're doing well. Not alone with the weather. Well, unfortunately, I've got a barbecue, right, and there's a cover on it, and it keeps getting blown off. So I'm concerned whether my cover's been blown off. Hopefully it hasn't. All seriousness, sorry, Toby. It's a quick to delete. No, that's fine. I don't know what that last one means. I think it's Italian brain rot, isn't it? We are now approaching Paddock Wood. Good, thanks. You're playing a bit of ETS. Nice. Do like a bit of ETS. What machines is peaking? Look at the suspension on this. Did you know, right, by the way, just quickly mentioning about the 6.7 thing. Peeps, do me a favour, go onto your Google when you next get a chance and type in 67 and see what Google does. I don't know if anyone spotted it.
927 Southeastern, service to Ramsgate.
What's your favourite game other than Train Sim? I'm big on my simulator, so I like Euro Truck. I really do like Euro Truck. F1 is another one I play a lot of. Another really good game that I absolutely love is The Crew. The Crew 2. I love that game. GTA. Can't go wrong with a bit of GTA. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I like. I like all sorts, really. City Skylines. I love City Skylines. Transport Fever. I think I'd say Transport Fever and City Skylines are like some of my favourites. If Transport Fever and City Skylines did more numbers on the channel, I'd play them more. I am tempted to start playing them more often, actually, thinking about it. Anyway, main menu. So, you want to see the 801? Let me have a little look at that. Glasgow Central, then we'll jump into a BML service, I'm thinking. Maybe do the Pride 375. I don't think there is a Pride 375, is there? Unbelievable. Right, ScotRail Express, which is that one. And I think so that's a mod timetable. Edinburgh Glasgow Sprinter Express timetable. There you go. 801. And you can't go from Queen Street, unfortunately. You can use it on the route, but you can't go from Queen Street. Anyway, let me have a look. I mean, there is a mod timetable that might have it in. No, but there is that. That's a mod timetable. I don't think anything's leaked there. BML, because you can, if you didn't realise, you can do Southeastern High. Ignore that, that's a mod. You can do the 375-9 in a couple of services on here, which we're going to do. Let's do. They're all engineering work things, but you can do them, which is very cool. So let's do one of them. Let's do that. Let's do it in clear. Will you continue building Britain in Transport Fever 2? Yes, I will. I've been meaning to make the next episode. I've just time. They take a long time to make because it takes me about an hour recording and then I've got to do everything else. But there's content ready, sat there, ready to go out. I was hoping to do a lot more of Transport Fever 2 this year, but other stuff has just got in the way. So it's coming. There is another episode of Transport Fever coming very, very soon. Don't you worry. Because there's been a lot of enhancements. And also, I did a short form video on it on TikTok and it got 100,000 views, so I don't know why I've not milked it, to be honest. Anyway, there is Transport Fever 3 coming out, and I think when that comes out, I'll do a lot more Transport Fever content, because I'm very much looking forward to that game. Straight through to East Croydon. I thought these stopped, to be honest. Oh well. It's a fictional train based on 395012. I've been enjoying the updates to City Skylines 1. I wish they'd make 2 more worth it. Yeah, I wish they'd improve 2 as well, to be fair. With time, I would imagine. I feel like they've tried to do too much with 2, to be honest. Let's go. Play some TF2, not Team Fortress 2. No. I'll tell you what else I've been playing recently as well. Gary's mod. Me and my cousin play Prop Hunt. The 667 is a bus route. The Avanti West Coast Class 390 can drive out of Glasgow Central. It can drive as AI, yes. You need to earn the 380. But you can't drive it out of now. How you doing, Callum? How come people have these little emojis or like symbol next to when they type a message? What route do I need to buy when I leave Glasgow Central? There isn't any routes that go like down the West Coast main line out of Glasgow Central. You've only got the Cathcart Circle, which stays in and around. So you can go out of Central, but you can't go like far. You love Transport Team Fortress 2. Team Transport Fortress Fever 2. Wow, that's a good one. You love Medway, what a route. The saddest part of the games is that when they promised a game update, e.g. a story game, they never deliver. How you doing, John? Welcome in, hope you're doing well. Been doing well, thanks. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you, Callum. Doing well, very well indeed. Back to work tomorrow, but it's the joys of a weekend. We've had a shorter weekend this weekend as well, unfortunately. Do I like cream eggs? Yeah, I'm quite partial to a cream egg. I tell you what I do like, the cream egg chocolate, like the chocolate bar. Beautiful. Love it. Does the Class 2 20 Voyager goes to Glasgow Central? No, it doesn't. I don't think it does in real life, but also the Voyager came out way after that update. You've been playing a lot of Medway. I'm not surprised. It's a good bloody route. It's a lot of fun. Just had a new subscriber. Welcome aboard to the new person that has just subscribed. Hope you're doing absolutely splendid. Someone was just in the Discord service tagged at everyone, and it didn't work. But then they've been told off by a moderator not to do it, and then they put why. Is there a Class 170 cross country? There is. It also doesn't go to Glasgow Central. You'd like to see an Italian or Spanish route in Train Sim World, as they are big countries and they have some nice parts to have a route. I mean, we're close with the Portuguese route coming out soon, and in terms of Italian routes, technically speaking, there is Italy in Train Sim World. Class 90 is out tomorrow as well. Yeah, there's a lot of hype for that one. I'm hoping to get my video edit in time so it's out ready for you lot tomorrow. It wasn't me, I don't chat. No, it was someone else. Isn't it out tomorrow? Do you know what? I can't remember. I really can't. Do you know what? I'm so mashed up about all the different releases. I can't remember what's what. In my honest opinion, there's been far too many releases this month. Not even from a cost perspective, from a content perspective. It's been hard to keep up. I feel like one new DLC every 1 to 2 weeks is healthy. But I feel like we've had, what, like 6 releases? You got 5 cream eggs in a little box. Nice. Yeah, I don't mind a cream egg. I was really upset, actually, because I bought an Easter egg, a Terry's chocolate orange popping candy Easter egg, and I thought there'd be popping candy in the Easter egg itself. And I cracked it open, and it was plain old chocolate, but there was like 4 pieces of really small Terry's chocolate orange with popping candy, and I thought, I've been charged £1.25 for this, and this is just a load of shit. Todd 4 really does so much to a route as BML looks lifeless in a way. Yeah, it's funny you say that. It does kind of... It looked weird, doesn't it? It looks kind of out of place. I mean, hopefully one day it gets a bit of a remaster. It'd be cool to see. Stop the train. Why? We're not at a station yet. What AI trains do I need for the Cathcart Circle line? The ones that spawn in. I have several cream eggs in my Flying Scotsman train tin. BML remaster is desperately needed, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, casual. Sorry not being in here tonight. My head's pounding. No worries. Get yourself some rest, mate. Don't be struggling if you got a headache. But of course, casual, fellow content creator and ambassador, does content when he feels like it, and yeah. The Trent Valley is going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. I don't think that's too far away either. Got no tablets in the house, does content when he feels like it, hardly ever. You do it sometimes. Euston to Milton Keynes to Crewe, here we come. Hopefully the 805 goes into Euston to Milton Keynes. The 805 is already on Euston to Milton Keynes, is it not? Class 390 and the Class 801 are AI on the Cathcart Circle. The 801 isn't, no. The 390 is. Like I said, the 801 wouldn't realistically go to Central, would it? Oh, the 807. Do you know what I think it does? I think the 807 does. Because if you look in the layer list, it's there. But I don't actually know. It's good that it's staying lighter for longer now. Yes, it's well and truly on the way to being summer. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Right, gently into East Croydon, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a 465 run. A very quick one, but a 465, because we haven't done the 465, and I know that is one that a lot of people like. I'm surprised we've not driven it yet. What's your favourite train station? Ooh. Favourite train station? Do you know what? I'd probably say something like York. York is a really nice station. I'm going to Greece in the summer. Nice. Yeah, so me and Shan go to America in about 5 weeks' time. And then we also go abroad. We're going to Spain in October. Richie ruined my evil plan to avoid the 465. Not quite. Not quite. Beautiful. And that's a bit of BML. Like I say, hopefully this would be cool to have a remaster. I'd love to see it. I mean, to be honest, surely a lighting overhaul shouldn't affect performance that much, in my honest opinion. Because the timetable's already there. It's the justification, though, of it, isn't it? Because, like, you've got to justify. If you are going to do a remaster to something, you need to do something to fund it. Either that be like a loco pack or whatever. And there's not really anything you can add to this other than a 700-1, which we already have. I've been to York, it's nice. 801s do appear at Kafka. Oh, okay, fair enough. Right, let's do... I'm going to have a little look. Shall we do 465 on here? Can we do a 465 on here? We can do Tonbridge to Strude. My goodness gracious me. We won't do that. Gillingham and Rochester. 9 minutes. Go on in. We can do something like that, can't we? Maybe later on in the day, though. Gillingham and Rochester. Rochester and Gillingham. I will do that one. We'll do that one. Why not? Why not? And then I'll call it there. You're off to Italy again to see your family. Nice one. You really hoping for a dispatcher mode in Train Sim World 7? A dispatcher mode would be cool. I think a dispatcher mode would be probably the next sort of step now, wouldn't it? Oh, that's cool. I like that.
The next train to depart from platform 1.
Right, lights. Lights, lights, lights. Cool.
Rochester, Saul Street, Metham, Longfield, Farningham Road, Swansea, St Mary Cray, Bromley South,
Nice.
Denmark Hill, and London Victoria. This
Cool. Right. You really hope, probably considering it had a scenario like Glossop Line, it could happen. You like seeing the rail cam of York Station? Maybe all the releases are funding the remaster. Maybe. Just often when there's a remaster to a route, it comes with a loco DLC or some form of like DLC to it. You've had some fish and chips in York. Broco via Tonbridge. No, we're doing this one. I'm not doing an hour-long service, Toby. If you've got the route, go and do it by all means. I haven't got the time. When are you next going to play ETS? I have an idea for ETS, and it's to do with the next subscriber milestone. I'm gonna hold it in my head for now, but I have an idea. How you doing, Alfie? Welcome to the stream. Then the mess of signaler mode after knowing Dovetail trying to make a new make some new stuff. Yeah, I mean a signaler mode would be interesting. I don't know how you'd be able to do that in this though. I feel like a signaler mode would need to be. I don't because you'd have to make sure that like places are like signal boxes and stuff are accessible. You've liked the stream. Thank you very much, Callum. You absolute legend. Richie, I need to get you on Truckers MP. I got Truckers MP for ATS. I just haven't got it for ETS. The situation is that my Euro Truck Simulator is using my... I've got an old Steam account from way back when. And I couldn't really be bothered to rebuy all the content. But because I use it for an old account, Truckers MP is like funny. It didn't work properly. SimSig. Yeah, I keep meaning to give a go of SimSig. You're getting off at the next stop at Chatham to go and visit Dovetail Towers. Of course, if you haven't liked the stream already, feel free to do so. I'm not too sure how many likes we've got, but I can imagine it's a fair few. Isn't there an issue on the PS5 where you can't hear the 375 motors? Yes, they're aware of it, and they said it's just a wrong build. So I think a build's been resubmitted. But because of how long it takes for it to go through Sony's processes, it's just going to take a little while. When is ETS coming to Xbox Series X? Whenever they release it, I suppose. I don't know. Considering when they announced it, they normally announce stuff like 6 months in advance of release. And when did they announce it would be coming to consoles? It must have been October, November last year, something like that. Do you have the Cathcart Circle line? I do indeed. Guess it's whenever Sony decides to push it out. Yeah, it's usually the case. Updates are down to Sony, I believe, to like whenever they plan to upload them. Probably with coaches. Probably, yeah. There's quite a lot of stuff coming, isn't there? They've kind of let their roadmaps like over the next 2 years. Still nice to drive though. Yeah, I don't think it's too much of an issue. Like, it's not like it's intentionally that way. It's just an accident, isn't it? So, interesting thing about this station, I have been here. Been to Chatham. Been to Chatham Towers. I've got a picture just out here. Just outside here. I've crossed this road. I've walked down this road. There's the donkey with it going on its head. And I've walked down here. And then it does just kind of fall off into the abyss like this. And you keep going through here. There's the spoons down here somewhere. You keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. You keep walking, you keep walking, you keep walking, you keep walking. You keep on walking, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. You keep going, you probably shouldn't be going this far. And then you end up at Dovetail Towers, which is somewhere in this general area. Adding to the RichyVerse lore, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, it happens, it's not the end of the world. I like your approach to stuff. On this day, Richie walked a lot. It was a hell of a walk. I actually walked with none other than British Ace on the way back. I actually shared the train with him. We stood about here, I think. Yeah, because I've got a clip of a 375 coming in. Stood here. I think it was 375 or 376, one of the two. You are not going to Dovetail Towers. Yeah, I don't imagine you would be going. You have to be invited. Trent Valley will be fun. Which service are you doing? We are currently doing 2K64 Gillingham to London Victoria, going as far as Rochester, where we're going to be ending the stream. Because I'm just under some time constraints tonight, just because I've got work in the morning. So yeah. You're playing Medway and the lighting is fab. Yeah, well, we are technically on Medway. We're just on the Southeastern high-speed section of. I think the next route people want to see now is the bit that goes this way. Now, I would imagine. I don't know what this one's called. Is it a Chatham main line? Something like that? I think people would like to see that next. As I am a box, I'm never invited anywhere. Break into Dovetail Towers and steal their alpha copies. No, I just steal their sandwiches instead. You're doing 2T32. Strude to Paddockwood. I like this. There's been a bit of work around here. I don't think this was there before. This is all new as far as I'm aware. We really need some older EMU slam doors. I think a lot of people want to see that, don't they? And let's gently get into here then. Gently does it. Nice. Cool. Rightio then. There we go. Unlock the doors. You're doing it in June with some light clouds. I can't find the service because I don't have the Medway Valley line, so I'm going to do the service from Gravesend to Dartford. I think that's what it's meant to be. Oh, no, it's not. It's not meant to be that one. You should be able to find it. It goes from Rochester to... I think it goes from Rochester to... Where does it go? Oh no, this starts at Gillingham. You'd love to see a 205 thumper unit. All change, please. I wonder if they've done any changes to the station building. I don't think they have done. They have to Strude though. They've done quite a few. They've done quite a few changes to Strude. Let's have a look. Got the submarine still. Strude's down here. There it is. There's Strude Station. Looks really nice now, actually. Looks really nice. And the police. Oh, there you go. Got something coming from the Medway Valley. Nice. Right, let's lock those doors then. Richie's improving them station arrivals. Yeah, that's it. I'm becoming what you would call a pro, I'm guessing. Right. Anyway, let's go over here and let's do our goodbyes. Goodbye. Anyway, right. So that was all things Southeastern, albeit a bit of a shorter stream tonight. We've still kind of seen all the bits of the Southeastern network. The train's being nicked, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's get out. But yeah, as for general bits of admin from me, I'm going to try and edit a Class 90 video for tomorrow. Of course, the DLC comes out tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be hopefully good when that comes out. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, we'll do a stream on that later on in the week. So yeah, Class 90 tomorrow, and then some other stuff as well during next week. So yeah, next live stream should be Wednesday, all being well. Assuming I have the time. I'm a bit tentative on Wednesday, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you all for coming in tonight. Really enjoyed it tonight, and yeah, should hopefully see you all in the next stream. Bye everyone.